Hello and welcome to a special webinar from AutoTalk magazine. I'm Rich Edwards, the managing editor and I guess host today. And what we're looking at today is carbon credits. So clean car standard carbon credits, particularly for the used or privately imported market or individually imported market, and what you can do with them and specifically trading them. And we're going to talk about trading them on the Carbon trading platform. And to do that, I'm bringing in Dave Boot from Carbon. Dave, thanks for joining us today. Now,
Right.
why would dealers want to look at buying and selling credits?
Morning, Richard. Well, as most dealers know, or all dealers know, we now have to have our own Waka Kotahi CO2 accounts and manage the own tailpipe emissions we have coming into our fleets. So the idea is that we bring in the legislation serves to clean up the fleet and lower our average emissions as dealers. Some dealers obviously specialise. Some dealers specialise in low emission vehicles, and some dealers specialise in not necessarily higher emission, but obviously passenger SUVs and vehicles which don't meet those sort of new limits imposed. So when you're going to register a car, you now have to have your account, your Waka Kotahi CCS CO2 account, up to date. So you have to pay those fees if you don't have enough credits. So trading credits is a way to get them if you don't have them. Obviously, at the moment, if you don't have credits, you can go onto Waka Kotahi's site and you can simply pay the $18 per gram and then go ahead and register whatever car it is you have to. But with the target this year set at 145 grams as the average tailpipe emission allowable, there is a little bit of an oversupply of CCS CO2 credits in the market. So it is not necessary for you to go and pay $18 per credit. So we've set up a website, carbontradingcompany.co.nz, which allows dealers the autonomy to come to the platform, set a price which they would like to sell their credits for, and it allows other dealers to come to the platform, see those credits on offered, see what deal suits them best, whether it's a volume thing or a price thing. We've actually gone and added new features, which I'll run you through in just a second, where dealers can actually come to the platform and make a wish list, if you like, or a request. For example, I want to buy this many credits at this price. The point of the website, or the web app, is to let the market establish a market price for CCS credits. We've so often seen in the sort of introduction to the CCS scheme, dealers doing what they can to get their heads around who's buying and who's selling. And we've probably all seen the email threads with 100 or 200 email addresses in them with people saying, I have credits to sell, email me. While that can work for some people, it's a little bit messy and it's a little bit behind closed doors. How much are you actually getting for your credits? What are they actually worth? Are you paying too much for your credits? Are you getting a really good deal for your credits? And for some businesses which have shareholders, it's quite important for you to be able to display to your shareholders perhaps why you bought these CCS CO2 credits. Were you competitive? Because it helps you price your cars, of course. So if you pay too much, you might put yourself out of the market.
Yeah. Now, Waka Kotahi will sell credits, but they won't buy credits, do they? So trading amongst dealers is the only way to actually get rid of excess credits or cash in on excess credits, so to speak.
Yeah, that's correct. You can't go to Waka Kotahi and say, I have all these credits, buy them off me. There is no value to Waka Kotahi in credits. So when you go to buy them, you're not so much buying credits as you're just paying the fine at $18 per gram. So no, you don't have to pay the $18.
And by and large, at the moment, are credits trading under that 18, significantly under that 18? Is it actually worth going out there and doing this, or is it easier for some just to go and buy the credits from Waka Kotahi?
Well, look, we've had some customers come to the platform who have been an importer of one vehicle. One guy I remember in particular came to us from Australia to New Zealand and brought his SUV and then realised he needed some credits to clear that vehicle and to actually register it. So came onto the platform realising that he didn't want to pay $18 per gram to get these and found a packet there at nearly half that price. So no, it is certainly worth it. As years go by, we think the price will change, but we'll let the market establish that. But at the moment, no, there are some really good deals to be had.
And let's get this bit out of the way. What's in it for the Carbon Trading Company? I mean, how are you guys paid for your part in this process?
So all in the terms and conditions on the sign up. When a trade is made through Carbon, let's say buying or selling, Carbon exists on a small margin of 2.9%, 2.49%, sorry, of the transaction value. So that's pretty much to keep the doors open.
Yep. And that's pretty transparent up front. Good. Nice to get it out of the way early, and so people know where your intent is.
Yeah. Why
now,
is it the lead? Yeah, sorry, you go, Richard.
So you're going to show me how to sign up for Carbon today, and then show me a little bit how to actually go ahead and trade.
Absolutely, I'm ready when you are.
Yep. And just to be clear, who can sign up to Carbon? I mean, is this restricted to dealers at this point?
At the moment, we have restricted it to car dealers. You will need a CCS CO2 account to actively trade on there. We may open that up further in the future if you really want to speculate on CCS credits, but at the moment, let's get the dealers involved and establish what those market prices are.
Should we clarify around the word dealers? I guess traders or importers. I mean, could people in the logistics supply chain and so forth who do trade in cars as such sign up as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone in the vehicle importation trade that has a CCS CO2 credit, so whether that be a wholesaler or a retailer, anyone who is responsible for that, the car at entry certification.
Right. Let's pull up this page here and start talking me through this. And I understand there is some. Not complications, but there is a process to follow because we've got things like anti-money laundering legislation stuff to meet.
Absolutely, and that is the most interesting thing I've discovered through setting up this platform is just how much legislation is involved and how much, how many boxes you need to tick to make sure that we are creating a platform where there will be no AML, so there's no money laundering going on there. So you will need to be AML verified, but let's start at the very top and get you through there. So this is the Carbon marketing website where you can come to it and learn all about Carbon, what it is, and how it works. So what we've just been adding now is a whole lot of YouTube videos, which are listed and iframed right into our website here, which you can watch, which show you absolutely every part of the process. It's a really simple site to use. There is some disjointedness where when you bring credits to the platform, and we'll show you that in a minute, where you actually have to leave the site, go onto Waka Kotahi's site and bring the credits across. We can't iframe or we can't get a link into Waka Kotahi's sites where the two sites operate quite separately. But let's just start right at the very beginning and sign up for Carbon. Now I've already signed up. So if I can go back a step, I wonder how I can actually do that, Richard. I'll just get out of this and see if I can log out and sign up again. Here we go. Let's just log out.
Yep.
So this is the page you'd be greeted. Yeah, this is the page you'd be greeted with. This is the Carbon login website where you go down here, you'd simply create a you're new to the platform, you'd sign up. Come here, what's obviously important is an email address, and the next thing that's come up here is a username, and you might be thinking, who is F5A94C23? That is an anonymous username, and it is recommended for dealers to come to the platform and use that anonymity. You may not want people to know how many credits you have for sale. You may be coming to the platform and you may not want other dealers in the market to know how many you're buying. So there is an opportunity for you to operate quite anonymously with other dealers by simply using that username in there. You can, if you want everyone to know who you are, you can change that username and put your own dealership name or personal name in there if you want to, but we recommend anonymity. The details below it, your first name, last name, date of birth, and mobile number have to be obviously yours, and they will not be displayed publicly on the website. Choosing a password is important, not too cryptic, and down the bottom here, you're going to tell us what type of CCS CO2 account. What will you use Carbon for, whether you're here to buy credits, sell credits, or perhaps both, if you're right on the margins here. What account type you're adding, whether you are dealing in used credits or new credits. And here's something you might need to, well, some dealers, very few might need to know, you can be a used and new credit dealer. There are some dealers that have two CCS CO2 accounts. So once you've entered one, and this is where you need to be accurate with the information, the CO2 account name needs to be the one that you've set up with Waka Kotahi, and obviously the CO2 account number needs to match as well. If you've just added your used account and then you actually got some new credits as well, you just add another CO2 account at the bottom there, and then you go and add your new account or vice versa. So once you've done that, down the bottom, we need to know who we're dealing with as well. So what company do you represent and the company address. So simply hit the sign up. and you'll be through. Now we'll just skip through that step and I'll just log in. And imagine you've already signed up, and we'll just show you a test site here. In fact, there's one I've already got. I'll put in my password and simply log in. So welcome to the Carbon platform. You're greeted by the most recently traded price for new and used credits. So that graph, as more and more use comes on, and this is only showing us the last day, showing us the average price and volume of credits traded at any one time. So I come in here for the first time. I am required to verify myself for AML. I've already done that. It's really, really simple process. We handle it all at our end. You'll need to verify your email, which is as simple as sending yourself an email and clicking accept so that we know who you are, and that works as our two-factor authentication. The first thing you're going to want to do, let's imagine you're a seller. You want to sell some credits. You'll need to come into your wallet and add some credits to the platform. So what I want to do is go and deposit something. So I come over here and say, actually, I want to transfer some credits into my carbon trading platform. So here, how many credits do I want to bring in? Let's say I've got 1,000 credits to sell. They are used credits. This is populated down here. My Waka Kotahi CCS CO2 account name and number is written in there. We go into the next step, and it's going to tell me what I need to do to actually bring those credits from your Waka Kotahi account into your carbon account. Now, those sites still exist within Waka Kotahi's framework. We don't remove the credits from their framework, otherwise they don't exist. But this is giving you a step-by-step run through of what you need to go and do on the Waka Kotahi site. How you need to go in there, transfer the credits. It gives you the account number down here for Carbon's CO2 account number and Carbon's name. You simply bring those credits across. Let us know that you've done it by hitting the submit button at the bottom. We've hit done and hit submit. Now that tells us at Carbon that you're about to transfer 1,000 credits into our account. Once you've gone onto the Waka Kotahi site and added those credits, we get notification of that and we'll complete it to say, yes, we have seen those credits and they do exist. The importance, Richard, in those credits actually coming to the platform is so that when a buyer comes along to buy them, we know that they're there, we know that they exist, and that purchaser can take them straight away. There isn't days of delay organising getting those credits actually transferred from the seller to Carbon and then onto the buyer.
So how quickly does that process of transferring the credits from their account to the Carbon account happen?
It's really up to how fast the email comes through to us. So at the back end, someone will be seeing that email now to say those credits are coming. As soon as Waka Kotahi issues that email, and that system is instantaneous. We've tested it a number of times. As soon as we've transferred credits to or from Waka Kotahi, you get an email straight away alerting you that that's happened. So
but it has a human verification. It has a human verification at your end.
Absolutely. Yep. We need to verify that that's happening and it's coming from the right account. So just earlier today, I set up this account and I've already transferred 1,000 credits from a Waka Kotahi CCS CO2 account into there. So I've got 1,000 credits now that I can sell. So let's go and sell them. And while we've got 1,000 credits, what we might understand is that some dealers coming to the platform might not want to buy 1,000 credits. They might want to buy 500. So let's decide what price we're going to sell them for. We've seen the market price of the last transaction was around $9, but let's say we're selling 500. That's a good chunk. Let's try and get $10 for those, for an example. It'll sit there to say that they are used CO2 accounts because it knows we've added used CO2 accounts. And then over here, we're going to click submit. Now down the bottom here, there's a preview telling us that we're going to sell 500 credits for $10. There's going to be a total of $339.50 fees. On a successful sale, you'll receive $4,660.50 in GST inclusive. And the really important thing to this site is that when you buy your CCS CO2 credits from Carbon, you will get an invoice including GST. So you'll be able to claim the GST on that purchase price. Yeah, selling credits through CCS does incur GST. People need to understand that. So now I'm going to submit that I want to sell those credits. I've already verified, well, the Carbon's already verified that I own those credits and they exist on the platform. So it's going to now create a listing for those credits. Up the top here in my used CO2 account, I can now see I have 500 available credits and 500 held. What that means is there's now a listing somewhere in Carbon for 500 credits. So I can't withdraw those immediately unless I cancel that listing for sale. So I've listed some credits. Let's go across and show you what's on the marketplace today. Now, at the top here, these are lists of actual credits for sale on the carbon marketplace right now. I just want to go over here and filter them. I want to go and filter that I'm just looking at the moment for used CO2 credits. And of course, I'm going to filter by the cheapest price first. So here I am at the top. I'm looking at someone who has listed credits, a user who has listed credits at $6 per credit, and they have 200 credits to sell. If I come to this platform and I want to buy them, I will simply click on the buy button over on the right-hand side. Where there can be variation, we've seen organically dealers creating varied prices is when there are either big or small packets. The ease of coming to the market and buying a huge amounts of credits might appeal to you to just think, oh, well, there's 500 credits at $7, but I actually need more than that. I'm happy to pay $7.50 to buy that packet of 1,000. And so on and so forth. There are lots of different variations. As more and more buyers come to carbon, the graphs will show a more even price over time, where sellers coming to the platform will see what people are buying based on that homepage there, where we can see on the dashboard what the average price was, and we can see it down there at $8.50. So as the price sort of fluctuates a little bit, we'll see a real even marketplace I suppose, be attained, where people who are selling credits come to the platform and know what price they need to be listing them for them to be attractive.
Now you don't have to use the credit straight away, do you? So you're having a good month, you've got some money sitting there. You could say, well, I'll go and buy these credits while they're sitting there at $6 or $7.50, because I think maybe in the future they might be more. Hedge my bet.
Absolutely. We've seen two types of users: people who have come to the marketplace saying, I need to register this car right now, I need credits immediately, and their transaction happens within the first next 15 or 20 minutes, so that they can go down to VTNZ or VINs and register that car immediately. A lot of other players have come to the platform and sort of look at how many credits they've used over the last 6 months, how many will they need over the next 6 months, and pick and choose those cheapest listings or those packets that suit them as they come through. And we've seen that, because we can see at this end of things in carbon where people have bought the credits but not immediately withdrawn them to use in their own CCS their own CCS CO2 account to offset some fines that they may have. So we have people who have bought credits and are simply holding them in their wallets. And over on the left-hand side, you can see the wallet icon there. And they're holding them in there to either to extract later on when they need them, or bring them back to the marketplace. As you quite rightly sort of suggest there may be a marketplace in the future where you might buy credits at $6 or something, and as the price goes up, as the years go on, and as the amount of credits in the marketplace lessens, and the price you'll pay with Waka Kotahi goes up, you might find those credits become worth more. Don't take financial advice from me on that, but that's what we've seen some people do.
Right, so carry on. You're talking about wallets.
Yeah, okay. We'll move on for that for the start. We've talked about coming to the platform selling credits, but there's also a way of coming to the platform and buying credits if you don't see a packet that suits you. So if you're searching through here and you think, crikey, these people are selling 200, 200, 250, 200, I really need to buy 1,000 credits and I need to buy them today. There's another way of listing credits. So over here on the fulfill or accept an offer page, we can create an offer to purchase. So imagine I'm coming to the platform, I need 1,000 credits. I can come over here and say, I want to purchase 1,000 credits. Now, because I'm a little bit cheeky, a little bit optimistic, I want to pay, let's say, $8 for them. I come over here and I click submit. Now, what it's telling me is I'm going to need $8,199.20 to create that offer. So I'd go and load my account with that amount, because someone's going to come along in no time at all and say, I will accept your offer to buy 1,000 credits at $8 each. You'll see a line there saying accept, and you can just come along and sell those credits to that person. So you're sort of fulfilling someone's wish list. So it's a way of the marketplace working from both sides of the equation. What does the seller want? But if a buyer comes along and can't see a packet of credits that he or she likes, or an amount that they like, they can come along and make a request to buy. So sellers can see those, they'll get notifications sent to them and say, oh, someone's offering to buy 1,000 credits at this price. Do I want to accept that or not? And they'll be the first person to come along and accept that offer that might win the transaction. If
Mm.
you see that offer for 1,000 credits at $8, and you think, no, I don't want, I want $8.50, you could come back to your sell section and you could list 1,000 credits at $8.50. So it's a bit like going fishing. You put the bait out
Mm.
and see if someone wants to come and buy them.
Now,
Get out
you
of that.
mentioned there someone wanting, say, more than that 200 credit packet, and so putting up a fulfillment request.
Yes,
You could alternatively buy multiple packets at one time, though, couldn't
yeah,
you? You could buy the $7 packet, the
absolutely.
$7.50 packet.
Absolutely. And let's just refilter those down and go through that again. So let's say we've got them here, issued by the lowest price. I can buy that one, that one, that one, that one. So I can gather my, 1,500 and 1,700 credits that way. If I'm a little busy and I decide I don't want to pay $7.50, I can just make an offer to buy 1,000 at $7 or something and see if someone comes along.
Mm.
And we have had a great deal of interest in people shopping that way. But yes, of course, you can buy as many packets of these credits as you wish. Really
Okay.
simply, in the background behind the scenes, what happens is, let's say you're the seller, Richard, and this is your packet up here at $6 for 200 credits. As soon as someone buys that, you'll immediately get sent a request to invoice Carbon for that amount of money. And
Gotcha.
we will then forward those credits onto that person once that payment is received, and obviously forward to them a receipt as well, GST invoice receipt, to say you have paid for these credits, and here is your GST invoice so you can claim your GST on those purchase price. Back over here into
Great.
the wallet, this is where I exist. This is my section of, this is sort of what I've got going on in there. So I've got 1,000 credits in there. If I'm a buyer, I'm coming to the platform to buy credits. I've seen a packet I like. What I need to do is I need to deposit money into this account to make that happen. So I come along and I make that deposit. The instructions are here on how to make that deposit. You obviously need to go into your internet banking and deposit the amount of money you've seen that you need to buy a certain section of credits. Just going back out of that for a second, just to remind people what they're doing there on the dashboard. These are the credits, these are the credits for sale. So I know if I'm going to buy those credits there, for instance, I need $1,098.83. So I bring that amount of money to the platform and the wallet. I'll deposit that amount of money. The instructions here will show me exactly what to do. I'll tell Carbon that I'm going to put in a little bit extra just to make it easy, because there might be extra credits that I might want to pick up later on. And I'll go through and deposit those. So here's the instructions. You're going to put $1,200 into the Carbon Trading Accounts bank account. There's the bank account number you need to use. And there's the references, the particulars and the reference that we want. So as soon as you've done that and you've clicked submit, we see those funds touch your account. We'll come to your wallet and verify that you have added those funds to our account. Now you can go and purchase whatever credits you want up until that value. The reason why it's important that the money comes in before you spend it is so that when you click on that bunch of credits that you want to buy, the transaction happens immediately. There is no transaction without money. There is no purchase without credits. So the exchange is guaranteed. If if you see a packet of credits that you like at a price that you like, we guarantee those credits exist at that price.
Now, from what I can see, if you needed your credits like pretty much that minute, didn't want to wait the hour to it sometimes takes for a bank transfer, you can pay with credit card, but it's an extra couple of
Yes,
percent. Is that right?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And we have had a number of people come along and buy using a credit card. And that's one really neat thing. You're at the counter at VTNZ and you're like, crikey, I need 100 credits. I can come along and buy these 100 credits, confirm 100 credits, and there's a place in there where you can get in and pay with credit card. And you can see there, I want to pay this one with credit card. 4.65% fee applies. That's not on top of the 2.49%. That is including that. So 4.69% is the fee to purchase the credits, and of course includes the credit card fee as well.
Great way to collect Air points.
Great way to collect Air points, and we have had some what I would call really big players come to the marketplace and pay for massive amounts of credits on credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so and that's just one really neat thing when you're down there to register that car. It's $13,000 that you're going to take into when you sell it, but you're a couple of $100 short in your credit, your CCS CO2 account. and their bank account's empty, but all you need is to register that car so the customer can pay you for it. Slipping a couple of $100 on the credit card, it might save the day. So once you've got those credits, you've bought them, and let's say just on the reverse side of things, I've bought these credits, I've got these $500 credits available, I want to withdraw them. So I want to withdraw these 500 credits I bought. So I just tell Carbon, I go into the wallet and I tell Carbon I've got 500 credits, they were used ones, I want to withdraw them. But that's just telling us in the background that you want to take those credits out of your Carbon account back into your own Waka Kotahi CCS CO2 account. So as soon as we get that notification, we've now notification there that you want to make a withdrawal of 500 credits. This is the exact time you made it, and that's sitting there as open. Those are open at the moment. It's not until we come in at the back end and see, yes, you want to withdraw those credits, that we will put those across into your Waka Kotahi CCS CO2 account. You'll get an email saying that exchange has happened. You also get an email, I've just got one there, saying you've received my request. And you'll also get one from Waka Kotahi as soon as those credits have been added to your account. And as many dealers will know.
What's the general turnaround time in transferring those credits?
So on average, our transfers have been about 15 minutes.
And are you guys operating what kind of hours a day? Because there's a human involved, obviously. It's not going to be necessarily 24 hours a day.
No. So our hours are sort of a 9 till 5, but we are sitting there. We're never too far away from our cell phones. So if we see those notifications come through, and we can certainly tackle them straight away. There is not too much incentive on people being in too much of a hurry with swapping carbon credits around after 8 o'clock at night, because you can't go and register your car at that time of day.
But conversely, weekends?
Very responsive. Yeah, weekends, the official line is we're closed, but we haven't missed a transaction on the weekend. Right. We're a bit like car dealers, Richard. We're never really closed. we know on Saturday morning, if you need your credit so that you can go and register that Mazda MPV you've sold, then no trouble at all. We'll get them through to you.
Right. Anything else in the system that you think people will need to understand?
So there's the barrier to the system is AML, anti-money laundering. Now, there's a lot of our customers have come to the platform saying, why do I need to be AML verified with Carbon? I'm already AML verified with Waka Kotahi. And we have looked at ways of shortening that down to allow just the AML verification that you've achieved with Waka Kotahi to come forward and sort of cover this as well. Legally, there's no premise for that, so you will need to become AML verified, and that's a really fast process. Can take as little as sort of 2 or 3 hours. Can take as much as a day, depending on how quickly you can get through the information we need. It's really important as a business owner to know that you can have employees accessing this Carbon website on your behalf if you give them the permission to, and to trade on your behalf also. So you need to know that there are certainly some guarantees as to what account those withdrawals are being made into. So if you're a player coming to the market selling lots of credits, you need to make sure that there are checks and balances in place to make sure that when you withdraw the funds from your successful sales, that those funds are going to your business accounts. What's really interesting about the Carbon website is from what we've seen, from what we've understood about how we've set up the platform, and from the consultation we've had with lawyers on this, there is no real way to launder money through Carbon's website, with the exception of perhaps paying more than the retail price. That would be a trigger to us. If someone was paying $19 for used credits, we'd be onto them in a heartbeat saying, why on earth would you be doing that? Having said that, existing and trading credits outside of the Carbon platform is a bit of the wild, wild west. When you are the reason why Carbon exists is so that if you're a dealer that has 1,000 credits to sell, and you have a dealer that calls you from someone you don't know them, you've never met them before, who pays who first? Do the credits transfer first? Does the money get transferred first? Is there a level of trust there to say, yeah, okay, well, I'll give you these credits and then you'll give me the money? The way the system's set up is that it takes all that guesswork out of the equation. Both parties are going to receive exactly what they came for. there is a guarantee around that. You can't trade on carbon if you don't have the credits, and you can't buy on carbon if you don't have the money. So it's a sort of a guarantee there that makes it really, really safe, makes it transparent, and allows you to buy your credits with a GST invoice, so you can go and claim your carbon tax. We can't claim your GST. We have heard of transactions happening where and this is something that dealers need to be aware of, I suppose, where they've decided, well, these credits have no value, so yeah, you can have these credits, and just put them in my own personal bank account, and don't worry, there won't be an invoice involved. That's the days of doing that stuff are really numbered. They'll be onto you in no time. I've heard of some dealers say that they've been approached by people off the street saying, will you sell some credits for cash? I've got a motorhome I've just brought in from the UK, and I need a few credits. Can I buy some credits off you in cash? And I'd highly recommend avoiding that.
And I guess the other key question is we're talking about the trustworthiness of people necessarily coming in wanting to swap things around for cash. What's to say, devil's advocate, carbon won't just shut the doors and disappear with everyone's credits and the money that they have filed. I mean, you are kind of acting, I guess, as a little bit of a carbon bank, so to speak. What's in place to stop that happening?
Yeah, lots of checks and balances in the background, and that's the biggest thing regarding coming up with a website and a trading system like this is the databases and places you need to register with. But while the IT guys have been building the website, I've been in the background working with and registering with the police unit for the financial, the FIU, creating our own AML plan, getting everyone AML verified, and making sure there is some safety and backups to the site as well to make sure that we can't lose any of the data. What's really interesting and what's good about carbon is the CCS credits that exist on it exist on a carbon account within CCS's system. So within Waka Kotahi's CCS system. So if carbon disappears for whatever reason, those accounts still exist in Waka Kotahi's CCS system. It could be quite easily undone to put those credits back in whoever's account owned them or transferred them into them. But there is a trust account for the financials, for the banking, for the money. There is a trust account which carbon operates. So any of those consumer funds which they bring to the account to purchase those things operate in an environment of a trust account, so that can't be used or spent by the staff at Carbon. The neat thing about that, though, is once you've purchased or sold credits, you can withdraw your funds and your credits immediately if you wish. And you have said some dealers who, obviously need the cash flow. That's why they're selling the credits, so they don't want to leave their money tied up in Carbon's accounts. They can take it away straight away. So that's the neat thing about it. If you don't have your credits within 15 minutes or your money within, an hour or whatever the banking system allows, if we've suddenly shut down or the servers have gone down or something, you'll know about it in a heartbeat, and those credits won't have left the platform unless your payment's been accepted. So you won't. Can't be any real losers there. No one's putting money in their account unless they're buying, and if they're buying straight away, then they're getting the credit straight away. And if they're selling their credits, then they can withdraw their funds immediately. So.
Right, so now if people do want to give it a try, you said they'll try it, they'll like it. What's the best way to get on board? Is it to contact you, or do they just get themselves set up straight on the website?
Really simple. If you want to do it quick and easy, www.carbontradingcompany.co.nz. Sign up is right there in front of you, flashing in your face. It could not be a simpler sign up system. Once you have signed up, if there is anything you're uncertain of, there is really helpful, very quick videos that you can watch. They are screenshot videos running of whatever transaction you're trying to make, whether you're trying to import credits into the marketplace, import cash into the marketplace, take out cash, or take out credits. There is a really quick video which covers all of those transactions. We're really responsive on email if you want to get in touch with us and say, hey, help me with this. We monitor everything that's going on with your transactions when you're bringing money to the marketplace. We'll obviously be able to see what funds you bought to and probably be able to identify what credit package you're about to buy. And we'll sit there ready to respond to make sure that happens really quickly. Have a look around. It's really, really simple, really easy to join. Really, really cheap. I think obviously 2.49%. There is a fee involved. But that fee does ensure the safety of the transaction as well. You're not dealing with someone you don't know. You're not putting credits into an account hoping that the money will show up the next day. I've seen that far too often. People saying, "Oh no, I'll check with the accounts lady. It should have been there, mate." Yeah, if you take away the risk, take away the worry, sign up to Carbon and give it a go.
Yeah, no waiting to the 20th of the month. Look,
No,
thank you so much for going through that with us, Dave. We'll put any links that are relevant down on the bottom underneath this video, and yeah, hopefully people can go and try some carbon trading. Thanks so much for joining us, Dave.
Richard, thanks very much for your time. Enjoy.